This is Nia Perry, founder and CEO of Gradient Global Collective, and you're listening to the Gradient Global Collective podcast. Welcome to the introductory episode of the Gradient Global Collective podcast. As you heard in the intro, my name is Nia Perry. I founded the parent company to this show, Gradient Global Collective, as an answer to a long-time question I asked of myself, which was, how can I use my career in support of Black women? But I never really knew exactly how that would manifest. I've always had a sense of pride about who I am as a Black woman and really our resiliency, especially as entrepreneurs. Of the many descriptors I can share with you about me, I'm a 30-something-year-old American entrepreneur of West Indian lineage. My father's from Trinidad and Tobago, and my mother is from the American South. I'm a mom and a wife and really a lifelong marketer. And as I've matured, one of the most important attributes to me is that I'm a champion for women. I've gone through several ideas on how to serve this demographic, from considering launching an agency that provided market research on Black women to conceptualizing a software application, but could never quite put my finger on the right opportunity for me. It wasn't until I left my marketing role in corporate America and became an entrepreneur myself, starting a marketing consultancy, that I learned of the staggering growth of Black women entrepreneurs in the U.S. alone. According to the 2015 State of Women-Owned Businesses report, commissioned by American Express Open, Black women entrepreneurs grew a whopping 322% from 1997 to 2015. Whereby positioning Black women as the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the nation, starting businesses at 6 times the national average. That's amazing and inspiring, all rolled into one. And by the way, if you're interested in reading more about this information, I'll be sure to add the links to these stats in the show notes, which you'll always be able to find on our website at gradientglobalcollective.com. So with this data, I thought I had finally arrived at the end-all be-all business, which was for me, at the time at least, was developing plug-and-play digital marketing tools for Black women entrepreneurs. After all, I had had a lengthy career in myriad segments of marketing. Plus, I had been retained by and interfaced with so many Black women entrepreneurs through my marketing work that I knew this was a great segment to be in. But as I mentioned on my blog post titled Welcome to Gradient Global Collective, which can be found at gradientglobalcollective.com, I wasn't scared enough. And for some reason, the idea of having fear is typically a deterrent, right? But as an entrepreneur, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. In fact, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the current president of Liberia, has a great quote that really resonates with me. It goes as following. And I quote, "The size of your dream must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough." End quote. So sticking to my marketing background that felt sort of safe and out of sync with what I was supposed to be doing, it wasn't until I realized that broadening the reach to not just Black American female entrepreneurs, but to Black women entrepreneurs globally, and creating the content that speaks directly to them was where all the fear started rushing in. Questions like, can I do this? Will people listen? Circled really all about my thought process many, many, many times over. And if I didn't say many, let me say it one more time, many times over. I was nervous. I was afraid. Right? But one question in particular was really a major motivator. And that question was, who am I to do this important work? I'm a marketer to my core, but who am I to develop a new media platform and events for this specific demographic. Plus, I did not and do not want to be pigeonholed as what I call anti-fill in the blank. Okay? Because Gradient Global Collective is by no means that. In fact, our mission as a company is to spotlight the innate brilliance and moxie of Black women entrepreneurs globally and add incomparable value to their lives and businesses. And so the answer to all of the questions above is, who am I not to be that voice and change agent? I have an authentic voice, so it is my responsibility to use it. Our brand name, Gradient Global, represents three things, okay? The range of scale in which Black women operate businesses globally, from micro entrepreneurs to multi-billion-dollar enterprises. Gradient Global also represents the diversity of background and life experiences of our audience and guests. And lastly, Gradient Global represents the vast skin tone and hues of our absolutely gorgeous audience. Our platform, the Gradient Global Collective podcast, is a platform where accomplishments are celebrated and commonalities are discovered. And our goal is to simply offer visibility to a traditionally underrepresented group. So in general, these new efforts are all about inclusiveness and being the platform that we deserve and sorely need. For me, this journey is humbling, exciting, and offers me such a sense of pride to present the stories of amazing women, many of whom I had to scour the World Wide Web to discover and bring to you, further elevating the need for what I am building. My intention for the podcast is to encourage and empower listeners, no matter what corner of the world you may be from, to achieve and persevere. So, what can you expect from the Gradient Global Collective podcast? Well, every month I interview absolutely brilliant and inspiring Black women entrepreneurs from around the world, operating businesses both small and large. We'll dig into how they got their start, what motivates and drives them to press on, and you'll gain tips for you, the brilliant listener. I'll also bring short episodes to you that may discuss hot topics for you, the entrepreneur, as well as Gradient Global gems that I've learned along the way. So who should listen? If you are a full-time or part-time entrepreneur, or you aspire to be, the Gradient Global Collective podcast is for you. We'll bring a global perspective to the conversation, whether you're from France, Nigeria, Montserrat, etc., so that you may be inspired to take one more step in your entrepreneurial journey. And it truly is a journey. Thank you so much again for listening. Be sure to tell a friend or 5 or 10, just saying. And you can read more about me and the brand at gradientglobalcollective.com. And we'd love it if you'd be so kind as to subscribe to the Gradient Global Collective podcast. I truly look forward to sharing in this journey with you, and I really, again, appreciate you listening. Thanks so much. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Gradient Global Collective podcast. Follow us and talk to us on Instagram at Gradient Global.